Hello friends, welcome to tutorial Js, and in this video series I'm going to show you, in complete video I will show you how to perform insert, update, delete using React.js in the front end, and in back end we will be using Node, Express and MongoDB REST API. So before we proceed ahead, let me show you in my channel.
Select start from
Playlist,
all. That means from product table it will
find here REST API. You will go to this Node.js API. Which one? In playlist, first you will click playlist, and then here this one, Node.js API. Okay, with insert, update, delete, it is showing Node.js for MySQL, but inside this there is one Node Express JS MongoDB CRUD. Okay, so you need to follow this video first. You need to follow this video first, because I'm not going to cover this one, but rather I will cover the front part. Okay, because I have already shown in this video how to create REST API and also how to test this REST API using Postman. Okay, so step by step I have shown you how to create REST API and also test that REST API. So in this section, in this video, I'm going to cover the front part, and I will be using this one only for backend part. Okay, alright, so I have already started this. Let me show you from scratch. This is my Node Express MongoDB server. Okay, so let me start this. npm start, and then this one is front end. I'll also start npm start this one. So this is my React.js and this one is server. As you can see, it is showing database connected and the port number is 9090. Okay, and this one is starting the React.js. Now if I start here, so this is the one which I had started, and also if you want to check here the server, then the port number is 9090. If you press enter, so actually my endpoint is admin. If you click here, then you can see these are the data which is coming from MongoDB database using REST API, Node and Express. Now let's come to the front section, home, then add a student, and then view. You can see this is the same data which you are seeing here, Umar Rahman and Karan, etc, etc. So these are the data which is coming from REST API. So now we show you just adding one name. Say I just added one, and then you can see this one is successfully added. Now if I want to change it, and update, you can see successfully this is updated. If I want to delete, then you click and instantly it got deleted. So guys, this is the series which you will be seeing, and I will be covering step by step how I have created these all things. And remember, as a developer myself, I can say that if you want to have a grip on MERN stack, if you want to be a better, a good MERN stack developer, then your concept of insert, update, delete or CRUD operation should be very clear. If this is clear, then the rest of the things becomes very easy. So guys, watch this video till end. I will be showing you how to perform this insert, update and delete. But before that, once again I'm repeating, you have to follow this video and step by step, so that you will know how to create the backend part And what I'm going to show in this video is going to show you the front end. And complete code can be downloaded from here, from GitHub, this one, the backend part. Okay. So guys, now let's start new project and I will show you step by step how to do all these things. So let's go to this folder and here I will create one project. Say npx create react app MERN. Only I'll name it as MERN. Okay. So let's start in this project. I'm creating a new blank project and I will show you step by step how I have created the project just I was showing few minutes before. In the meantime, I will stop this one because we are going to create a new project. That is why. So our project name will be MERN. This one. By the time it's getting downloaded, I will open it into Visual Studio Code. So let's go to folder, then I select this one and select folder. Now that the project is still downloading because you can't see any, yeah, now it's src. So is it done? No, still downloading. So let's wait. Okay, now the project is complete. So now I'll write here cd man and then npm start. Now the project is starting into the browser. It's compiling actually. Yes, finally now it's compiled and you can see this just one revolving logo. Before we proceed ahead, let's do one thing. Bootstrap CDN I will use because I'm going to use Bootstrap in this project. So let's just copy this one, this CSS, Bootstrap 5, and let's go to public and then inside that index.html and here let's just paste it. That's it. Now let's move to our app.js. So let's delete everything from here and I will create an empty tag. And also let's do one thing. I will use Bootstrap's navigation. So you go to component and then navbar tabs. Okay, you can select any one of these. I'm going to select, oh, we need to select this navbar, not tabs actually. Okay, so just select any one of these. I will select rather this one. Just copy this and I paste here. So we need to make modifications. Some of them. This HR tag requires additional. This input box also needs to be closed. So here, that's it. Now let's check our project. Okay, there is something wrong still. So what's wrong? Is there anything wrong? Let's go to its console and check what's wrong. first thing is class, and it says the above code of the UL component. So there is UL mismatch somewhere. Also, wherever there is class, you can use class name, because class is a reserved keyword, so rather it says that you should use class name, but still it works. So why it says UL? Where is it? Looks like there is some mismatch in. Let's select another one. I'll check this one rather. Copy and then nav to nav. Just paste it, and input I have to close here, and then this HR needs to be closed here. That's it. Yes, now this navigation is displaying. So I think in the previous one there was some problem. Okay, now let's do one thing. We will create one form. Okay, yes, so what we will do, just uh, cut this one, and let's create one component here inside src called menu.js. Just paste it. We'll write here const menu function, arrow function I'm using, and then here, but we need to write here return, and then this below it will get closed, this, and finally this one, and export default menu. Okay, now let's call here import menu, and then simply we will call here menu, right? Okay, so the thing is same. Now what we will do, let's create here one form. Okay, so div close class name container. Inside this, let's create div class row, then div class call md for let's make it 2 so that we will make space, then 4. So here will be first name, and here input type equals to text form, sorry, class name form control. This is Bootstrap class name, and then finally input will be closed. This is self-closing tag, so we will put here. Now let's check. Okay, so this is first name, the top, and so there is something wrong, I think. 2 to 4, 4, and then 12. Oh, it's MD and not F actually. There is spelling mistake, and just I copied it, that's why it's showing. Now this first name and then our text box. Here also I will write div class name row div class name call md12 add student text center h2. Okay, we will apply some classes also later. Now let's copy from here to there. There is one box, first name, so we will select first name, last name, email, then submit. So this one will be last name and last name, first name, last name, then email, and then here input type button button sep, add student, last name btn warning warning. Okay, now let's check. Okay, so now we have first name, last name, email, and this one. Now let's do one thing. Let's get to app css. Let's delete all its css and we will provide some spacing. And one more thing, from add or forms. Dot forms width 60%. Okay, so now it's nearer, you can see. Also dot forms dot row, then padding bottom 20 px. Oh, it didn't take. Row, first row forms, then row. Actually, it's forms, not forms. Yes, now you can see there is spacing. Text center so that the button will come in center part here. Okay, so this is plain HTML, right? I'm not focusing much on design, but the functionality particularly. So now let's go to, okay, let's do one thing. I will now cut it once again from here to here, and let's create one folder component. Inside this, add student.js. Now here const add student return export default add student, right? I'm creating structure first. Okay, now we will create added student. So just paste it, change its name, edit student js. Okay, edit student.js. We need to change its name here as well. Also we need, it's fine. So we have created add student. Now let's create one more file called view student. View student.js. Okay, here let's delete this everything for now. Let's table we will name it list student class table, the bootstrap class. Now serial number, first name, last name, email, edit, delete. Last name, email, edit, delete. Tr, td, 1, first name, last name, email, edit and delete. I'm just putting here dummy data. Later we will make it dynamic. Last name, email, edit, delete. Okay, so guys, our form is now ready. So now let's go here and browser router, and let's close it here. Inside this we will use routes close, and then route path, and then element equals to then list. Was it list? No, view student. View student. Okay, before that we need to install here npm install react router DOM. When you will be using routing, so you need to install this library. Now npm start once again, and meantime we need to call this browser router that we have used here, route. This is not required actually, routes, and then route link we will use later here in the menu. And this is the component name, view student, and here actually will be element equals to view student. So automatically it got called here, you can see. Then so this one is listing. Now add student, then edit student, here edit student. In case of edit student, we will be using here id Okay, so that's it. Now we will test. Browser router is not defined. There is spelling mistake. browser router. Okay, that's working. Where 11 browser router. Okay, we can use this one also instead of this. Here you can see browser router as router. So directly we can use router also. Just name it as router. Okay, now let's try. No, that one will be there in the top router. So simply I will use here router and router. Okay, now it's working fine. You can see. Okay, so now you can see this add form is working perfectly, and list student or view student. What is here? You can see add student view. There is nothing. So simply if we write home page, then view is coming, and add, we will link it to the top, add a student, and we will also check if the edit student is working or not. So edit student and then id say dummy3. So this form is not working because there is some mistake here. This column will be actually this side. Okay, slash then edit. So guys, now our complete form is ready. One more thing which I just need to put here, go to navigation, that means navbar. So what is that? Menu. Yes, this menu, and here we will write, just remove this, we don't need drop down. So add student, and second one will be, this form is also not required, so we delete this. Then add student here and list student, and here will be link to, that means home page, link here. And one more thing we need to do, we need to call here link in the menu. This link is already there, so just remove everything else. Just we will keep link. So link to, this is actually list student, and for add a student, just let's copy and paste this, add student, and here will be add student. That's it. Now let's check. Add student, the form is coming. List student, this one is coming. Now we will make it functional in the next part. In this chapter now we will make it functional. Okay, let me once again repeat here, I'm not going to focus much on design at this point of time, because as a developer I know myself that if I keep focusing on design, then your concentration will get distracted. The main thing is that you should focus on functionality, and of course design is not a big thing, you can do that later also. And I will, of course I will try to make these things better. And also I'm not validating here, I'm not putting here validation, because I have a separate video for that. Let me show you. If you go to tutorial race, how to do validation in React.js, I have already
products
shown
view,
that in the video. Uh, React.js, yes, there are 22 videos already there. So inside this, if you go, you will check, you will see uh, I have shown how to do validation. So in this video, I'm not going to focus on that. Rather, I will show you how to uh, insert the data in from this add student. Okay, so let's start from this add student. So let's go to components and then add student. First thing we need to call here is use state. We will require these three things. First, use state. Use state, as you know, this is a hook. In one of my videos, I have shown in this uh, playlist what is uh, hooks and what is the use of use state. In case you don't know, then you should go for this video playlist series. You will find there. Okay. Use state is actually used to maintain the state which we will be using here. Also, use navigate is for redirection, and Axios is used for sending and receiving the data to and from our API. Okay. Now here const student, then set student equals to use state. Inside this, we will have one object. Okay, so what are the fields we are passing here? First, name. So initial state will be blank. Last name, email. Okay, last name and email. So guys, these are initial state. Okay, that means initially it doesn't have any value. It will have a blank value. Okay, now let's do destructuring here const so that individual value can be accessed and returned. So this is destructuring this value we are passing here. That means what? From this object we don't have to write student dot first name, student dot last name, student dot email. We don't have to write like that. Simply when you write first name, last name, email, then the value can be accessed. Now we will create a function for on change. Const handle change, then function here is pass here e or event, and then set student here student. That means we are using here spread operator so that whatever value will be we will be typing, it will be concatenating here. So it will be e dot target dot name and e dot target dot value. That means what? Whatever we will be, and here on change handle change, on change. So on change this handle change and e, that is this function. Okay, now same thing we will, and one more thing we need to put here value, then first name, first name. Okay, here also same thing, we will put value last name, and then on chain handle change. That means its value will be passing to here. Now again in the email section, value email on chain handle chain. That's it. Apart from that, we will put here our form. Okay, form close here, and on submit e, then submit form. So that means what, we will have to create a function here with this name, const this, then e dot prevent default. That means we are disabling the default submit, and rather we will be submitting this through React.js. That means we are preventing it submitting the form through default HTML, and rather we will submit this through React.js. Now Axios, first await Axios dot post, and then here will be the path. So I'm pasting this folder here, the complete Node Express one. You can download from my video as I've shown you before, and you can paste into the main project, or it can be anywhere. So now npm, sorry, not here actually, npm start. Okay, it's now connected. So now let me show you one thing. In the route section, not route, in the server, if you open, then you can see this is our endpoint. Okay, so here in this case will be http localhost, then 9090/admin, and then let's check the route section. In the route section, this is my route. For adding purpose, it is add student. Okay, so we will put here /add student, then result or catcher, and here we will pass student the data. Which one? This is data we will pass here, so that it will go to our MongoDB and Express server. what is error? Why there is error? Oh, this dot will be removed from here. Okay, so whatever result will come here, it will show, or else catch error, alert, something went wrong, or else here the result. So console.log, we will check what is the result. Okay, now let's try to check here. Okay, it says that Axios is not installed. So what we will do, Control C, extract this, and npm install Axios. This Axios is responsible for sending and receiving JSON data format to and from the server. Okay, that's why it is required. Okay, so now add student, and let's try to add something and check if it's working or not. So here add student. Oh, there is something wrong. That means it's not working. So need to check. Oh, something went wrong. That means what? Let's check here in network. Okay, add students. What the error? Let's check if this is working or not. Add student. That means the server is. Let's restart the server. So up to here it's fine. Is it 9090 or what? Let me check. Yeah, the port number is 9090 only. Localhost 9090 /admin add student. Now let's try here. Refresh. Okay, it shows that it has been added. So how we will know if this really has been added? Let's open here and refresh it. Yes, you can see this is added here, right? So guys, as you can see, our add student section is working perfectly. If you want to show here some message after adding, in that case you can write here. So we will write here this successfully added, but before that you need to create one const message set message. use state. Directly you cannot use this message. Okay, so here we will write set message. So const message, then set message. Now this message we can show here. Let's create one more, and here simply message. Okay, now let's try to add in another one. Added, but that didn't come, right? Okay, let's change it like this. We don't need to write it separately, rather set message then successfully added. That's it. Now if you try to write here, and then add, you can see the message comes successfully. So let me show you how did it come. First you need to create here one use state. Initial message will be blank, and then you set this message, and just you need to show here. That's it. So guys, as you can see, it is perfectly working our add section. Now let's just copy this one up to here, up to here. Just copy this, and let's go to list or view student in our component. View student, and then this section of course will be inside our this function, right? And this message not actually required for the timing. Up to here we need. Now we will need one more use effect function for displaying the data. And then here we need to put this use effect. What is use effect? Once again, I have complete series of this. Go to here, read this tutorial. I have explained very well what is use effect and how that works. Okay, for the time being, I'm using this use effect for loading the data. So initial data, when you want to load, in that case you can use effect. Now load, let's create a function called load student, and then async, and then this curly braces. And this load student actually we will call under use effect. Once again, let me explain you. This use effect is normally used when when you want to default load web page loads, then some function you want to load. In that case, use effect is used. Now here once again, const result xuse dot get, and then the result equal to, it will be get, here will be our path. So in add student we had this path, we will need to Rather than add a student, the path will be go to here and only admin. Okay, because here you can see we are opening with this path only, so we need all these list. That's why. Now then set student, set student, what this result, set student. Okay, that means this result will have complete list. Now here we will run the map before this tr. Okay. So student.map student index, and finally here we will need to open this, so the data will be coming here. Now let's check if it's working or not. Okay, there is something wrong. Line number 58, line number 58, that means somewhere here there is one curly braces, then one, and this is one more. This curly braces is for this one is for this, and this one is for this. Okay, now let's try. Load student is not defined. Why load student not defined? Const load student. Yes, so now let's go to view student. Okay, so there is something wrong. It says map is not a function. That means data is not coming perfectly. If you want to check the refresh and check the data is coming or not. So you need to remove JavaScript. Okay, let's see. Already working. What is the problem here? Map is not a function. So when you get this kind of message, that means there is something wrong from API. Means data is not coming from there properly. So which one is this? Your student. Let's check here once again. Before Axios, we need to write here await. Now let's try. It's taking so much time. Student.map is not a function. Student.map is not a function. Set student. Let's do one thing. This will be not required actually in this case. So simply we will have here blank array. Okay, still it says mapping and not a function. So surely the data is not coming somehow. Yes, so this one is there, no? Yes, now the data is coming, as you can see perfectly. So now we need to check other things. That means from API now our data is coming. So the data is coming. Set ID result dot data. Now it's coming fine. So actually we need to write here result dot data. Okay, so now as you can see is coming fixed name. So we will do one thing for 6 serial number plus 1, so automatically it will increase. And here student dot first name student dot last name student dot email yes, now you can see the data is coming perfectly whatever we had added. Now let's try to add one more. Add here, added successfully, view the list. Now Shantanu is perfectly added here. So guys, as you can see it's working fine. Now the next thing will be to make edit and delete. Okay, so in the next chapter we will work on delete and then edit and update of course. In this section we will work on delete part. Okay, so let's go to the code and here we will write link to since it won't go anywhere, so simply we will put it blank and then click. Next here function name, it will be on click, then delete user, then student.id. This id we will be passing which one. Okay, so for link we need to once again call this add student. No, in app we have so we will have to create this function here. Const this equals to async and then here we need to pass id. So id already we are passing from here, this id delete user. So here will be id, and then just copy this, paste, and here will be delete, and we need to part here delete student, and then we need to pass id. Dot, then result, and finally then result load student, or else catch error, there is something would not delete. Okay, now let's try to delete. Could not delete, there is something wrong. What's wrong? 404 delete student, the path seems to be wrong. Let's check here. Student route for deleting, what is this? Oh, del students, and then this. Del student slash this id. The id is not passing. Yes, now deleted. You can see how fast it is deleting. That's it in this section. Now we will work on edit section. So far we have worked on add student, list student, delete student. Now we are going to work on edit student. So just copy this one, and we don't need this actually, because we have to redirect to the page. So edit student slash this id. Let's try. Oh, it's not delete. Edit. Oh, actually it will be then backtick and dollar sign here, again backtick here. Now let's try. Should do this. It will be dollar here, not four. Edit, and here this. Now it looks fine. Okay, as you can see, the ID is passing here, right? So based on the ID, we will fetch the data. So now let's open here. Edit student. Okay, in edit student also, more or less, we will require these things, particularly like this. So just copy this and paste above. Apart from that, we will also need these things for updating the data. And then we will need this view student things, this use effect and load student. And finally, we can access here. Just let's check. Use effect is not defined. Okay, we have to write here use effect. Let's click on edit. And then data is not coming. We need to use here use params for getting the ID. Okay, current ID. You can see this current ID we need to, and to call these use params we need to. Okay, and then this ID we will pass admin, then edit student. Let's see inside the route, delete, update student and ID. Okay, this route we will be calling. So student slash plus ID. Which ID? This ID. And what is this ID? Actually this ID. So we are passing this ID to the database, but somehow data is not passing here. Load student in this one 9090. Set student this student. Fine. There is something wrong. edit slash student. How it's possible? There is something wrong. Student hyphen. Let's go to view file. There is something wrong. Oh, it is edit hyphen student. Yeah, now it's coming. So let's check if the data is coming or not. Yes, our data is coming perfectly. We need to show here. So let's see, show here the value first name. Yes, as you can see, first name data is coming here. So the first name is displaying here, not this. Yes, similarly, but at this point of time, it's not editable. Okay, if you want to, okay, so same way, but apart from that, we need to write this code here. Handle change set student, just like add student. We had this function and add student. This handle change. This one, same code you can just copy and paste here in edit student. Simple, because this will be required also. And same thing what we have done here, we need to just copy and paste here in every field, like on change handle change, then here value email, value email, not email, last name. Now let's refresh and check. As you can see, the value is coming perfectly, and now this can be edited. And of course its name will be not edit, we need to change it to edit student, and then here as well. And final thing is, when we from add and edit is almost same. Okay, there is not much difference, so we need this form as well here, and this form is getting closed here as well. Okay, and then we need once again for posting this data which we have submit form, same thing, but this time we will pass id as well as this. So just write this code here, submit form, we need to pass here two things, id as well as this data from this handle change. So it will be something like plus id and then like this, and of course it will be not add, it will be update. Let's check here in our routes, what is name, delete update student slash this. Okay, so update hyphen student slash id as well as we will pass here id. So based on the id, the data will be updated. Set message here successfully updated if everything is perfect in that case. Now let's try here. Rahman edit. Something went wrong. What went wrong? Let's check. This ID is coming, right? This submit update student edit and student is coming from here. This one is also defined here. First name, last name, email, and one more thing we need to pass. Okay, let's check what's wrong. It says 404. That means there is something wrong. Admin update student, then ID. Spelling is fine. Update student, and of course it will be put for updating the data. Yes, not updating. Let's refresh it. Yeah, the data is perfectly updating, but we are not getting message. So why is like that? Okay, we don't have this message. This thing we need to write here. Simply we can write here also. For displaying message. Oh, it's already been. Alright, so now we have no display here message. Okay, yeah, that's why we have not displayed here message. That is why. Now let's try. This time I will just remove it and then edit. Successfully updated. You can redirect to the list page after updating. Okay, so for that what we will do, just we will send list student history dot, so use here const history, use navigate. This one is for redirecting. Okay, now let's go to engine. Okay, we need to redirect it to simply main page. So guys, this is complete MERN stack tutorial where you have successfully added data successfully added. Now let's go here, this Nisa, edit, edited. If you want to delete, successfully it's got deleted. So hope you like this video and this video may be useful for you. In case you like this video, please don't forget to subscribe this channel. So thank you for watching. Bye bye.